Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening for someone. We are glad to see you again on our Friday talks. Hope everything is okay here. Rosti,
Hello to everyone.
We
Can you
see
hear
you.
me?
Yes, but we see you vertically. Can
See
you?
you.
Yeah.
I will try. I will do my best to be in a horizontal position, not in
Thank
vertical.
you.
While we fix the camera, I will open this one.
Good.
Okay, now you can see me 2 times. And just a moment. Я все ще бачу перевернуте.
Can you, while Rosti is fixing the issue, can you please confirm that you hear us and see us well, that everything is good with the connection?
Yeah, you may write something to the chat if
Give
the
the
sound is
reaction.
okay. If the sound is okay, if the picture is good. Today we have 24 people. Oh, Dominique, hello. So today we will start with the presentation of the Econnect feature and with our Econnect RO unit. And before we start, I will share my screen and just give some pictures and give an overview of what we are going to do today. So today I will start as usual with our web page and just explain what we are going to do today. So today we have our usual Friday talks that is here. And today the topic of our meeting and our discussion is the RO unit with Econnect feature. And just after the talk, you could find the video here, as well as all previous videos that we have done together with Oksana for the last several months. So here you may download and also share with your colleagues the topics and the videos that is of your interest. And today, our topic for today is the commercial reverse osmosis units. In particular, we will talk on the Econnect units. And now I am in our training room, and today we will connect. Now I'll switch to another camera. Today we will connect the MO6500. Basically, we would connect this unit to the internet, and also we do the adjustment of the flow and the pressure online. So I will explain how we do all the adjustments when we use our IT tools. And First of all, when you are going to install or when you are going to buy or purchase the reverse osmosis unit with Econnect, first of all, you have to visit the landing page, the IoT landing page that you may easily find on our website. So what you do, you go to the commercial 4-inch RO, and there is a button that is called RO, that stands for reverse osmosis, DMS. DMS is the device management system. So this is the access. So here by pressing here, you get the access to the landing page that explains what it is. And what is very important, when you have the login and when you have the password, you just log in. If not, you press get access, and within few hours, if you do it in the working days, you would have you would get an email from us, from our IT support, with your login and email, and then you would have access to the remote monitoring system. So this is important. This is important to do before you would do the startup. So basically, I would suggest to everyone to do this just after our Friday talk. Just get access. We would create an account for you, and you would have a lot of useful information, and you would have access to useful tools that I will also discover to you and explain to you today. So basically, what is Econnect? So Econnect is a remote monitoring function for the commercial and industrial reverse osmosis systems, and it provides you an online access to the performance of the system. So first of all, you could see the emergency alarms, like no water. If you have the high TDS alarm, you would get it immediately in the dashboard, and also you would receive the SMS. Also, the system gives you information on the quality of the water, both feed water and the permeate. Also, you could have access to the amount of water that is treated by the system. And in many applications, customers may even rent a unit from you. So you can install a unit on your own, and then you can rent the system and control amount of water that is used by a customer online. And then the customer would just pay you as much as he uses. And also the device system allows you to control the performance of the system, the state, if it's in operation, if it's in standby, if it's in alarm. So we will see all these details today. And also I would explain the quick startup, so how it works. So, and basically we would do the startup of this particular unit that is just behind me. So we would input the real data and would see how it works. So this is basically what we are going to talk today with Oksana. And now I will start sharing the screen. And I would like to ask who has the first question to everyone: who has access to the DMS among our guests? So please tell us how many people are already using RO calculator and RO DMS. And now we can, while you are answering, we could start our discussion with Oksana and go step by step. Oksana, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you now well. Sorry, I had a problem with connection.
It's okay. So we have Carol, who has access to the DMS. This is great, but I believe Carol is not the only one who has it. But okay, I believe after this Friday talk, we would have more people who has connection. So let's start with the startup. So today we would do the startup and connection. And yeah, let's start with the explanation how the system is connected. What should we do before the startup and before the connection? So first, I would like to explain our. I would use. Do you have it? Ручка. Мы зараз будемо показувати там. So before we start the connection, and I would like to explain how the system is assembled. So here on this training room, we have, this is a real water treatment station for our production needs, and also we use it for the training purposes. And we have a well water supply with I would say this is a dream water quality for water professionals. So this is a well water with iron, with H2S, so with hydrogen sulfate, and also, of course, the hardness. So this is the technology. This is here. You may see the pretreatment. And so we have the two sediment filters that is installed in parallel. Then This is the first stage of pretreatment. Then we have the second stage of pretreatment. This is the iron removal and softening system with Ecomix inside. It is in the 24/7 operation with the motorized alternating valve. So one system is in operation, this one, and the second one is in standby, what you may see on the screen. So this is in standby, and this one is running now because the system is already started. And so this is the second stage, pretreatment with Ecomix to remove iron, manganese, and hardness. And then on the third stage of the pretreatment, we have the Centaur activated carbon to reduce and to remove H2S. And then the water after the pretreatment is supplied to the RO unit, just to make sure. Then finally, we have here, I explained this last time, but I will go through it again. So here we have 3 units that we use for our purposes and also for the educational purposes. And today we will talk about this particular one on the Econnect unit. So as you see, it has a different controller and it has an antenna to get the signal, to get the GSM signal. And first of all, I would like to pay your attention to the piping, how they are done. So as you may see, the connections are made with the 1-inch pipes. So this is enough size of the pipe to provide enough water with low pressure loss. So we have the 1-inch both on the water supply, drain, and the permeate. And this by this type of connection, we can ensure the right operation of the system. So this is what we and how we should connect the units. Maybe there are questions on this part, on the pipes connections. Oksana, if you have any questions, please.
Yes, Rost, just very simple question, but it appears sometimes what would be if the size of the pumping piping would be not 1 inch? What could happen?
Yeah, from time to time, it happens that if the connection pipe is not 1 inch, then very often we might have an issue with the no water. So I will show how it works. So basically, I can close it, and we would see when the pipes are ½ inch, or when the pipes are when the pressure is not enough, the system would be stopped, and it would tell you no water. And this would happen every time when you try to start up the unit, or you don't have enough pressure and not enough flow. So I will open it back, and it will resume. Also, if the permeate line is also made with the flexible hose with the 3/8. Sometimes the plumbers do the 3/8 connection or half-inch connection. Then the system does not have enough flow on the permeate line, and the system is stopped by the high pressure switch. So actually cannot also switch on the system and make it running, because it is always switched off by the high pressure on the permeate line. So before you do the startup, make sure that the connections are made in the right way. So this is basically what you should pay attention at.
Yeah, Rossi, thank you for that. But when you turn off the water, we see the alarm on the screen of the controller and the timer. What timer do? What would happen after 1 minute and 30 seconds over there if no water?
So if no water, though in this particular case I switched on the valve again. So when the countdown timer would go 0, then the system would start up again. So if there won't be water, so the system would stop for a few minutes, and then would try to open the system would open the solenoid valve again and try to start up after several minutes. And then after 3 attempts, the system would stop for a no water alarm, and then you have to come to the system to start it up manually. So in this case, we may see that it is resumed, but still it says no water. Now we would you could also go when you restore the water supply. You could go to full fold restart. And do the restart, and then it would continue operation. We should wait for another 45 seconds to
restart the system. Okay.
To restart the system.
Good.
So this is the no water. So this is a very I would say this is the most common alarm that happens during the startup.
Okay, good. Rosti, here you presented very complex water treatment schema with different stages. What exactly should we do step by step before starting the systems? What is the most important things?
So first, before we start the so before you start the RO system, you have to make sure that the pretreatment is ready the pretreatment is ready. So when we talk about this particular schema, so you have to check once again if the sediment filters are installed. So if you have the Ecomix units, so then you have to regenerate them to check if the salt is in the tank. And then you have to check the hardness after the system, the iron after the system. Then if you have the activated carbon filter, it should be backwashed. And you have to, it's always nice to have a transparent flask or any kind of tank. And we have a sample port here. What we normally suggest to do is just to tap some water, and just to make sure that it's transparent. And especially if you have the activated carbon before, just check that the water is transparent, no dust, no particles from activated carbon. So the water should be cleaned. And of course, do the test on the hardness and do the test on the iron, just to make sure that the system, that the RO unit would operate on the quality on the water with right quality. So this is what should be done with the pretreatment. And then if the water is clear, the tests are okay, then you go to the reverse osmosis unit, and then you have to install the sediment filter. So this is very basic rules, but this is what have to be installed. And also the membrane element should be installed, so it is already here. So in this case, in this particular unit, we use the FilmTech XLE4040 membrane element. So this is what have to be done. And when you have checked everything, then you may plug in the unit and start. The production. So I will now switch. I will now close the water just to stop the system. So now the system is stopped by the high pressure switch, and then we would now we can move to the adjustment part and how do we connect the system online. So first, I believe that when you would be on site, when our guest would be on site with Econnect system, you would already have registered online, and I would now share the screen, and I would show how it works. So basically, when you have already logged in on the path, yes.
I'm sorry that I interrupt you. Maybe most of our guests know that, but can you please repeat one more time with how exactly this system connected to the internet, with what it's equipped?
Yeah, all the systems are equipped already from our factory. They're equipped with a SIM card. So the SIM card is installed by us on the factory, and the first connection to the internet is done on the factory. So this is important. And then the system is available and can operate in almost all countries all around the world. So at least it operates in all countries where we sell Ecosoft products. So we have the worldwide contract with the Vodafone, who is the provider of these services. And when we install a card, it is already active in all countries. We do the first connection. And when you bring the system on site, it is already prepared to be connected to the internet. So basically, you don't need to connect it to the wire internet or to the Wi-Fi. So this is how the connection is done. And if you when you get access, and then you go to the website. So now I believe you can see my screen. Oksana,
Yes,
do you see?
we
So
see your screen.
when you see the login, when you have the login and a password, yeah, you get access already to the system. So now basically, if you don't have any systems in your online system, it would look like this. So you would see zeros here, and then the dashboard would be empty. So your first step, you go to the devices, you go to the list, and what you do, you press add. So you add a new unit, and then you should go via this list. So first you name the system. So let's call it water station or garden center. So this is up to you how you would decide how you would name it. Then you put an address. It could be, I don't know, Bahnhofstrasse. It depends. So it actually has the connection with the Google cards. For example, Zurich, Switzerland. So this is what you know. Then it asks you to enter email. So to enter email, you should go to the system, and now I will show how it works. So you go to the system, and you can get the email from the system. So you press menu, then you go to settings, then you go to system, then you go to GSM GPRS, and here you have email. So here you have this code, and this code you have to input in the system. So, but you can see this between these 3 digits. You see the dashes, but you don't have to enter dashes. You have to enter only the digits. So let's do it 861. And then you have 92922 498 and 567. And then you enter a serial number. So the serial number you could see on the back part of the system. I believe we can show it with the camera, because I have to know the serial number also. And this is what? So it is somewhere here. Which one is the? So here is the serial number that you have to enter. Не можеш мені продиктувати серійний номер? It can be a little bit tricky. So CH. Now I will ask my colleague to do that. 291 061. And we also have to put the CH, the serial number. Then you select the model. So in our case, this is MO6500. Then the next step, select an owner. So if you would like to share this unit, the information of this unit with this garden center, I don't know, with the staff of the garden center, then you have to select a contact here. But before you do this, you go to the administration, and then you create an end user account by yourself. So you create a login and a password for him. And then in this case, you would have this owner here, and then just you select a person who you would like to share the information on this unit with. So in this case, so if you, let's start it again. Everything is gone. Garden center, address, email. Email is on the screen, 861 2 4. Serial number is 2 3. It's a model. And then you may enter a description. This is up to you to decide. And then when you press save, it says me that this device with this email serial is not found. That's because I didn't put a dash here. Yeah. So device is added. So basically it would be hard for you for the first time, but then all the next units, then you see that it's quite easy to see. And then this particular unit is already in your list, and it is connected. It is connected to the internet. So it was connected before today. So now we can move to the next step. So it is connected, and then our next part is to adjust it and to do the startup. So now I will switch off the screen. Now I will switch off the screen, and then we would see what do we do next. So now we move to the startup of the unit. So basically, we go to now the system is in standby. So what we do before the adjustments, so we have to open all the recycle and the drain should be opened, and then we start the system. So we open the water supply and let just the system run. So before every start, the system for 10 minutes, it waits. The solenoid valve is open, and after 10 seconds, the pump starts. So when we start the unit, first of all, what we have to see, we have to see what is the TDS of the feed water, what is the temperature, because we would need this data to calculate the system performance. And also we have to look what is the feed pressure. So at this point, this is 2 point, basically it's 2 bar, 2.0 bar. So I would now stop the system manually, and then we go to the calculator, and then we input this data. Then we input this data to the system just to calculate the performance. So first we select the module. So this is MO6500. Then we select the membrane. So in this case, this is XLE 4040. So this system is operating on the open tank. So somewhere on the factory, we have an open tank where this pipe is connected with, and this is a new membrane. So this is what we know from the system. Then here I put the data which I just took from the system. So our feed our pressure is 2 bar. The temperature is 19 degrees, so I read it from the controller. I had my TDS was 267, and the water is after Ecomix. So we have the Ecomix unit that I have shown before. And we do, here we have to enter the flow, the values for the flow meters. When we do this initial calculation, I just, what I do, I always put a value in the middle of this range. So it's from, if it's from 0.5 to 4, so I put 2, and then here I put something like 10, and then I press calculate. And here I get the data, and I have the alarm. So it says that the flow of feed water to the membrane is too low. It is necessary to increase the recycle flow or drain flow. Then I have to select what I have to do, if I have to increase the recycle or drain. So I see that my recovery is a little bit higher than 75. So normally I would try to be around 75. So what I would do, I would put 2.5 here and press recalculate. So it says, so my recovery becomes lower. So I would change the flow, the recycle flow. So 12 is not enough. Then I do these adjustments until I'm happy. So now no comments, but my recovery.
May I have the question during this?
Yeah.
If we keep those parameters, drain flow meter, and recycle, what could happen if we will not adjust this?
Yeah, your membrane, the membrane performance can go down quite fast. So if you have these comments and you don't pay attention to them, then after a while the flow rate of the membrane would go down. So to make sure that the system would operate for a long time, we advise, of course, everyone would do on his own, but we advise to set the system in the way so that you don't have any red comments here.
Okay, thanks.
So this is the way how we design this tool. So in this particular case, now I don't have comments, but I don't like the performance because this is too much water to drain. So the recovery is 72, a little bit less. So I would decrease the drain flow to, I would come back to 2 liters per minute. So now I have something around 75, what is good, and 13. So basically my settings are ready, are calculated. So for me, the most important parameters are 3 values: the drain flow rate, recycle flow rate, and the operating pressure. So then when I go to my unit, I have to adjust the drain flow and the recycle flow just to meet these parameters. And let's do this. So what we do, we resume operation. My recycle and drain flow rates are fully open. And what I would do first I would adjust the drain flow rate, and my value is 2 liters per minute. And here on the flow meter, it says to me, read float at largest diameter.
Guys, we do not see you.
Yeah,
Rusty,
I know
we do not see you.
Yeah, we lost just a moment. We lost the connection. Just a moment. Something has happened to our video part. So now we are back. Yeah. Now you can see.
That's good. Mm-hmm.
So on this flow meter, you see that we have to read the flow at the largest diameter of the flow. So we have to adjust it to have 2 liters per minute. So I'm almost there. So this is first step. And then I have to make 13 liters per minute of flow. And here, for example, on this flow meter, it says read top of float. So I have to adjust it to meet the 13 liters per minute with stop. And I have to make sure that my pressure is 8 bar. So in this case, it's 8.3. So what I would do, I am very close to my performance, but very important to keep this 2 liters per minute. And then if we look at when we look at the screen and we have our permeate flow is 0.37, and let's see what we have. So we have the permeate flow is 6.2, or we can also look at the measurements here. So basically, you may read the flow. You may read the flow of the permeate both from the permeate flow meter, and also you may read it from the controller style. Now you see that my flow rate is 394 liters per minute. That is exactly the same, or very close. Yeah, we have 380. So we are 10 liters difference, what is absolutely okay for these settings. So basically, this is the adjustments. So this is how we move these calculations from the aero calculator to the system. And then finally, we may check the quality of the permeate. So according to the calculation, the quality of the permeate should be 14 ppm. So in this case, we get 4 ppm. So we have some deviations from the calculation, but this is a good deviation because our quality, our real quality is a little bit better than we have calculated. So the system is adjusted. Good. Maybe we have questions from our guests. Let me see. Oh, there are some questions, and Alexei is already answering. So let's see. So not lower, but also not bigger thing. Okay. Yeah, adding a tank is always a good idea. Based on what there is a question from Raivis. Yes, so I will now answer the question. So at this moment, this tool, the RO calculator, is designed for 3 membrane types: is XLE 4040, LCLE, and then Ecosoft ELP membrane. And these are 3 membranes that are sold by us. And as soon as we add new membranes to our portfolio, we would also extend these membrane elements to the system. And what membranes would you prefer to have? Maybe there are some elements that are missing from your experience. Now I'll switch to this camera. Okay, we had questions, but Alexei, thank you, Alexei. Alexei has already acted. Brackish water. Which model you would like to have? If you would mention it here, we would be able to add this particular membrane to the aero calculator. Oksana, do we have any more questions?
Rosti, I always have questions. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
Go ahead.
So yeah, perfect. You connected the system, you adjusted the settings, but what we should do if we cannot connect the system, if system is not connected to the internet?
So basically, the good connection to the internet should happen if you have the internet on site. And if you have some issues with the connection, what you should do, you should check the signal. You should check the signal in the menu. So first of all the systems are supplied with antenna. and with a wire. So in this particular case, we are on the first floor with a good connection. But if you are somewhere in the basement, for example, in this case, we have a window, so you can move this antenna close to the window and make sure that the signal is enough. Then in the controller actually measures the signal. So you may press menu and go to the settings. Then you go to the system, GSM, and then you can go to the signal level. And then you could check the percentage. So basically, if you are above 60%, you are okay. So in this case, we have 93%. So we have a very good internet connection here. So if you are below 60%, then you should find the place for antenna somewhere in this room, or move it forward, or you could also make a hole and move it outside, just to make sure you have the internet connection. So this is what should be done. This is what should be done if you don't have the connection. If you have made the connection to the system, but still it does not work, I suggest you to connect my colleagues, Yefim or Alexei, via WhatsApp or via email. This is up to you. What is more convenient? I would ask Alexei and Yefim to put their contacts here in this chat, and then they would help you to connect the system. So this is my suggestion. Then the question from Ravis, is it possible to connect local? It is not possible to connect Wi-Fi because the controller is not equipped with the Wi-Fi module. And to our experience, Wi-Fi is not a reliable way of connection, because very often on the customer side, you cannot get access to the network. And also the local admin could change the password, and then you would lose connection with the system. So currently we have only the connection with the GSM, and now we are working on to add the Ethernet connection to the OS6000 that I think we would have by the end of the year. We have a new controller with the Ethernet connection, and we would stick to these two types of connectivity. There is a question from Carol. To be honest, I don't know the answer for what CSQ means, but I will ask my colleague Yefim. Maybe Yefim could help me with this answer. That's good to have a question that we don't have an immediate answer. Who pay for the Vodafone? Ecosoft is paying for the Vodafone. So we have a global contract with the Vodafone, and we cover all the expenses on all the cards we provide with our RO units. So you don't actually even know how they are paid. So you just use it as a remote monitoring system. As far as the system is in operation, because actually Vodafone charges us only for the actual consumption of the traffic. So actually, if you don't use the system or the system is switched off, so there is no traffic, so we don't pay for this particular card. So we pay only as we use, and this is the reason why it is used for all period of life of the system. So this is how it works.
So the answer is there is no limit. So if the card is not working, is not operating, it does not stop.
No, it does not stop. As soon as you stop the system, actually we as a provider would not just pay for it, but you as a user, our customers as users, they would, as soon as they would resume operation of the system, the card would be online.
Okay. Another question. Ravis, thank you for the questions.
How many
Rosti,
users?
how many users? Yeah.
Well, actually, this is a hard question. I think I will also ask my IT colleagues. Do we know how many users? So if we talk about the end user, so then only one end user could see one unit. And but you may also create your colleagues. So in your account you may create colleagues like the service engineers or sales managers, and then there are no limits on how many person could be created in your account. So this is up to you to decide. And maybe on the next talks, maybe we could go down a little bit down with the explanation how this system works and how you create these accounts. But this is quite easy and quite user friendly how to do this.
Yeah.
So why? Yeah.
I have one more question, Mr. If the system during operation stops because of the no signal error, what should we do? What should we check one more time, and what should be done to resume the system?
So on the alarms, so let's see what we do with the alarms. So as we already see on the previous on our just 10 minutes ago, the most popular alarm is the no water. So I would now the system is operating, and I will just close the water before the unit. So yeah, I believe you have heard the relay. And now the system would stop. So let's wait until if for some reason it does not stop. Let's wait. I don't know, for some reason this is also a nice case why it does not go to alarm. Let's try again. And see what would happen. Let's wait. I think there is a delay for some seconds until we would see the. Okay, I will stop it manually. So basically, I don't know the reason. This is what we would. This is also a case for us to see. So when the alarm happens, so first, for example, if no water alarm happens, then there are you have to do two steps to resume the operation. To resume the operation, first you have to open the water or to fix the problem, and then you may either you may wait. Maybe we can see it closer on the screen. So you may wait until it will resume, or you may go to the menu with the state change, and then you press default reset, and then when you press next and select this, then you do the reset. Then you do the reset of the alarm, and then the system would resume the operation. So this is one type of the alarm. Also, you may I will show another type of alarm that might appear. This is the alarm that is made by the water quality. So what we could do, maybe I will stop it for just to reduce the noise. Actually, you could do the alarm on the water quality. So you may go to settings, and then you could do the alarm on the TDS. So basically, for example, your target is to make to produce a certain quality of the permeate, and then you could set the permeate thresholds on the TDS. So you say, for example, you want to have the TDS. You want to have the TDS of you want to have the TDS of 10 ppm. Then you set the value. Well, let's do it. Let's set a very low amount just to show to everyone how this alarm would work. So let's set 2 ppm. This is what we would start. I think, Oksana, we have lost a little bit the video, yes? Now
Yes.
we would
Now
just
it's
a
okay.
moment. Now it's okay. Okay. So then, so here we said that the threshold on the TDS, so it's 2 ppm. Then we could go to the alarm delay. So we say that after how many seconds this alarm should be active. So let's do it like you could set the value you would like to have, but let's, for the training sessions, I would not suggest to put it 5 seconds in the real life. I would suggest to put it at least, I don't know, a minute, just to make sure that there is no fluctuations of the water quality, but let's do it 5 seconds for this, for this case. And let's check. Yeah, it's 5. And then we just, we start the system. And then let's move to the next questions, and then after a while this alarm would appear, and then we would come back to it.
Rusty, please take a look on the chat. We have a lot of questions.
Oh, it's good. So there was a question from do you may just follow the. So here in this case, so we see that there is the system has stopped, and there is a fault state. It says that TDS2 is out of range, out of bound. So it means that the quality of the TDS does not meet the requirement, the thresholds that we set, and system has just stopped. So this is what you could also do when you're focusing on the water quality, and also the same thing you may do. The same thing you may do when you may do with the TDS1 if you would like to limit somehow the feed water quality. So then a good question would be how to start the system. So I put the stop here, but now I have to go to the menu and change the settings because now it would stop again. So let's have it put equal to 10. To 10 so that we could resume our training. Let's check. Yeah, it's 10. So now we see the alarm again. Yeah, now we can leave it. It would work again. So let's come back to questions. There was a question from Rivis. Do we just follow the actual status of the unit and record that? Yes, I will answer your question. We will jump to the DMS, and I will show you how it works. So now I will share my screen, and you would see So now on this system, on this list, so we see the system. So now it says that it's in standby. It's in standby because of, again, of the water quality. But let's leave it and see what we would see in there. So now on the screen, what you may see. So now you may see that it's in standby, and we can go inside and see where does the last update was. So it was just a minute ago, yeah. And then you have asked if you can see the status of the system. So basically, yes, you could see the status of the system here. So now it says that it was in standby. It has the alarm on the water temperature. I don't know why it is so. And so here you may see how the system was in operation. So the system, it is working here in the training center. So it shows you the data actually for the last day. So you see how much permeate was produced day by day. So basically, today it has already produced almost 600 liters, and you may see the flow rate. You may see also the graph on the feed flow rate and the TDS that is here. You may see the temperature. So, and all these data are recorded, and then you may you have access to all this data online. So I believe that this is the answer to Rivis. Can I delete a device from the list? This is the
Rossi,
question.
I'm sorry, but that was another part of the question about can we adjust the alarms remotely? So we cannot do anything remotely, I suppose.
Remotely, actually, you can only monitor the operation of the system. So you cannot do any settings remotely. What you could do, you could set the alarms in the DMS system remotely so that you would have notifications in the DMS. But you cannot do any actions remotely to stop the system. Mm-hmm. So this is our logic, because you have to be on site to do the manipulation with the system. From the safety point of view.
Good.
Then there is also questions how much data this platform is recording about. Yeah, it records for years, so that we have enough storage capacity. So all the information, I don't know if you would ask it later. So all the information is stored in Germany. So we rent the storage in Germany, so that all the data are there. By now, we do not have any limits with the megabytes or gigabytes, so this is not an issue. And then so the system is quite secure, and we may see who is connecting to the system. So all the data have encoding, and if you have any doubts on who has access to the system, we may double check. And we regularly change the passwords, like one in a quarter or once few times a few times a year. We may change the password for everyone just to make sure that no one get access to your system and you just don't know about this. The system is sending SMS to the system. So this is the question, does the system send some alarms to operators of phones? So you can input the phone in the system. It would send SMS to you in case of alarms, and you would have immediate response. Then the question from Mykola, why does the pump work so quietly? Well, because this is a Grundfos pump, and this is the reason why it works so quietly. Settings of the system looks pretty complex. If Rosti is scratching his head, imagine a guy user facility. Okay. Okay, but this is a good question that we have to make it even more simple. This is a good comment. How many languages are available on this platform? So online we have now 2 languages. This is English and Ukrainian, and we are going to add more languages in the system. In the system, we have more languages. So we have English, Russian, Ukrainian, Czech, French, and Spanish. And yeah, we could add more. So if you have any preferences, please let us know. The system requires expert sales knowledge. Well, I would agree and disagree with you with the last question, because RO unit, reverse osmosis unit for commercial and for industrial applications, this is not a household equipment that you may buy in DIY and install it just reading the manual. So we are talking about the professional equipment that, of course.
Rusty, we do not hear you. No.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we do.
Okay. So this is the professional equipment, and of course, education is required, and this is one of the reasons why we have the Friday talks, because this is the time when we could share knowledge. Of course, you may read a lot of information in the manuals, but in the Friday talks, we could answer very precise questions and show nuances of this particular product. So my answer would be, everyone should learn a little bit before we use the product. Can you show which terminals the microswitch goes? Yes. So on this 2 valves, so basically we have the twin system. So in this 2 valves, we don't have a microswitch because they supply, I will take. Now I believe you would hear me better. So on these 3 valves, these 2 valves, we don't have the microswitch because this is 24/7 operation. But on this valve, on the activated carbon tank, we have the microswitch. Actually, it is here. So this is the way how it is connected. So you just screw it here. You screw it here, and then you connect the first and the third contacts on the microswitch, and then you lead it. I would not show it to you. Yes, I will show it because it is open. And then you have to open the control panel here. The microswitch is connected to the contacts. I think this is the contacts. I need to tell you exactly, but these are shown in the manual. I would ask Alexei. Alexei has already answered. So we have the contacts 11 and 12 on the contactors. So they are here, where you connect the microswitch. So this is the answer to the question of the microswitch.
Rusty, and we miss one question from Carol. Is it possible to delete one of the system from the list in DMS?
For us, yes. For Carol, no. So this is the answer, because once you have added the system, it will be there. But we, as owners of the complete system, we could do much more things. So you may just write, Carol, you may write to Efim, and Efim would do these manipulations for you. With the online portal, with us being a supplier, can we have all the advanced? Yeah, of course you may have all the units with Econnect. You may buy any unit. Maybe I will show our web page now and explain what kind of units we have with Econnect. So basically, here you may see my screen. So with Econnect, you may purchase a system with 1, 2, 4, and 6 membrane elements, and they are all available with Econnect function, and normally they are available on our stock in Belgium. And also some of industrial units may also be ordered with Econnect units. By industrial, I mean 8-inch row. So we have already some units running in Europe, and there are many industrial units operating in Ukraine with the Econnect. And I believe this is the answer to your question.
I'm sorry, but maybe I understand this question a little bit in another way. So differently. So I understand it from the point of view if the dealer or distributor who purchased the system and then distributes them locally, can they see all the system that they sell and keep an eye on them? So, like the Christmas tree, so they see everything they sell.
Yeah. So when you sell the units to your not to the end user, but when you sell the units to the dealer, you may actually at the moment right now you can give access to them, but you can give access only to one system to one customer. But now we would like to develop a new role in the DMS that would call a dealer, or basically it would be a customer of our suppliers. And then in this case, you could create like the dealer account, and then you would see all the accounts you have created, but your dealers would see only those systems who has bought systems from you and sold them back and sold them to the end users.
Perfect. Yeah, I correct Matt correctly.
So this is what we are going to have soon. Do you have any dealership in Bangladesh?
No, we don't.
Yeah, so we are already more than 1 hour online. I believe that we have covered many questions. I think thank you very much for so many questions. And there are some questions for us to think about and to come back to you after some time. I think that we can stop for today. I think this was a very good meeting. I think today we have a record on the amount of questions that we got in the text. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to Oksana.
Thank you, everyone.
And yeah, I wish you a very nice weekends, and see you next Friday talk. I don't know what would be the topic, but you may also put in chat your ideas. Yeah, if you have any ideas, we would do this next time or in the nearest time. So thank you and bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a nice Friday. Bye-bye.